How are y'all doing today? Somebody said, how do I go about making my music if I don't have the best equipment? Bro, there's people making music off of iPhones now. Not an excuse. Not an excuse. Not an excuse. Excuse me. A friend to everyone is an enemy to self. No, facts. And that's something that I've noticed. Like, let me teach you something about really standing out. The way that you stand out wholeheartedly is by being you. Like, how can you be you in the most aggressive way? How can you be you in the most authentic way? You see, a lot of people don't like authenticity. A lot of people are afraid of authenticity. A lot of people are afraid of people who know exactly who they are. You get what I'm saying? Like, one thing about it, when you know who you are, ain't nobody fucking with you. Ain't nobody for to try you like that. The problem is that somebody said aggressive. Yes, aggressive. Let me tell you what I mean by this. I like looking at people who we deem as weird nowadays. Like, a lot of people thought X was weird. A lot of people thought X was like, what the fuck is he on? But the thing about it was that he was being himself so much that it led him to building a cult-like fan base. And the reason why was because he attracted other people who were just like him. When you don't know how to be yourself aggressively and authentically and unapologetically, it's hard for you to find people who are like you. It's hard for you to find your people because you've been somebody else this whole time. Thank you, Amber, for the gift. You don't know how to be you. And when I got on live, my intention was also to remind you that, like, no matter what, you got to remember that when you're not being yourself, you're neglecting you. When you're not being who you are, you're literally causing yourself to get out of alignment with yourself. Period. Like, that's the thing. Like, why are you so afraid? First of all, why are you so afraid to be who you are? Why are you so afraid to be who you are? Is it because you know that some people are not going to like you? Is it because you know some people are not going to fuck with it? Why are you so afraid to be big? Don't you understand that by you being big, you're going to trigger people? But those people that you trigger, you're actually helping them because them being triggered by you lets them know that in some kind of way that they're not showing up in their authentic self. So when you being your authentic self is triggering other people, those people should thank you. If you being confident is making them insecure, they should thank you because what you're starting to do is you're starting to open their perspective and open their mind up to where they lack. How could you ever not like somebody simply because they just have confidence or because they're being themselves? And the reason why is because you know deep down in your heart, you're not being yourself. Deep down in your heart, you know you're not being yourself. When I see people being who they are and they don't care what other people think about them, those be the main ones that know how to win over a crowd. Because when people feel like you're purposely trying to win them over, they choose not to like you. When they see that, like, you ever seen somebody who purposely was just trying to get attention or purposely was just trying to be liked by everybody, it made you not like them. It made you not like them. But the people that you saw that was like, oh, I'm me. Like, y'all just gonna have to. You see, you are supposed to be you at your most authentic self and let everybody else choose what they want to do. Let everybody else choose what they want to do. Because at the end of the day, the last thing you want to do is be at peace with the world, but at war with yourself because you don't know how to allow yourself to live. And then when you don't know how to allow yourself to live, you're not going to show up in your best light. You're not going to show up as your best self. You're not going to show up as your most successful self. And the reason why you're not going to show up as your most successful self is because you're being a version of you that everybody likes. And a lot of time, the version of you that everybody likes is the version of you that makes them comfortable. It's not the version of you that triggers them, the version of you that helps them grow, the version of you that reflects to them what the fuck they're not doing that they should be doing. You get what I'm saying? People don't like when you are showing up as your best self because it always reflects to them where they're falling short. Come on now. People don't like when you show up as your best self because it always reflects to them where they're falling short. Period. Period. You know, I feel like what 2025, according to the numerology, what's going to happen in 2025 is a lot of people are going to get called out for not being them true selves. One thing that I've learned about 9 energy is 2025 is a 9 year. One thing that I've learned about 2025, the 9 energy, is that if you're not being who you say you are, the whole world will see through you. You see, 9 is like a mirror. Like, you can look at 9s, and 9s will look at you and see right through who you actually are. So this is why it's important now more than ever you start to get comfortable with who you are at the core. If you're cringy, accept it. Like, fuck it, that's just me. Yeah, my friend's cringy. Like, that's just her thing. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, and there will be other people who love that shit about you. If you're a little sour, like you a little, you know what I'm saying? Like, girl, like, you know, accept those things about you. Like, you can't ever be great if you're not accepting who you are. You'll never know your formula if you're not accepting who you are. Like, for example, you're trying to do everybody else's formula and then you're wondering why it's not working. You're trying to put everybody else's rituals and routines and you're wondering why it's not working, babe. You have to go through a journey within yourself with trying different shit out to figure out what works for you. Stop trying to do what everybody else do, because what works for them is what works for them. But what makes you special is your flavor, your sauce. Your honey mustard ain't barbecue, and honey mustard ain't Chick-fil-A sauce. But when I'm feeling honey mustard, I want honey mustard. When I'm feeling Chick-fil-A sauce, I'm feeling Chick-fil-A sauce. Y'all too busy hopping back and forth from different identities that you're losing yourself in other people. You see that today, this person got the wave today. These people is getting all the attention. So you decide today, this is who I'm going to be. Now realizing that when you are who you are, you're always going to be ahead of the curve. You're not going to be following a trend. I look at everybody in all this fashion and everybody's dressing up the same. Everybody looks like carbon copy. Atlanta looks like a bunch of like Kwans. Everybody in Atlanta look the same to me. Like it's a lot of people looking like each other, and then we're wondering why the music, why the art ain't coming out like how it needs to. Is because people are refusing to be their most authentic self. Let me tell you something. Ain't nothing sexy than a person who knows who they are. There's nothing sexy than the person who knows how to set the trends. Do you know how sexy it is for people to come look into you and your page because you're the one that's always the trend setter, the trailblazer? Everybody look the same. And the reason why everybody look the same is because they know. This is why everybody looks the same. Everybody looks the same because they know that if I dress this way, I will be accepted. People will think this is dope. Instead of saying, you know, I'm going to try this. There's a chance that people may think this is lame, but this is what I want to try. You get what I'm saying? Like, try new shit. Don't be afraid to be disliked by the world. Don't be afraid for the world to be against you. Sometimes that might just be a good sign. That might just be a good sign. And what I recognize too is, like, for me as of lately, I've been staying away from people that's just always got some negative shit going on. I've noticed that, like, there's some people who's just not happy with their life, and they just get, like, every little thing is constantly setting them up to be more upset. They stubbed their toe, now they upset. Then they lost their phone, now they upset. It's like they get in these feedback loops that we talk about. When you don't know how to calm yourself down, or you don't know how to dial it back when things are trying to get inside of you, emotional, get you irritable, you're always at the hands of the world. You're always at the hands of the situations that come before you. When things come in my life that are trying to stress me, I take it as a challenge for me to stay as calm as possible no matter what's going on. Because when you stay as calm as possible, you're showing that these are the type of experiences that don't really pull any emotions out of you. And these are the experiences that you don't like. So when I explain this, like the algorithm, if they show you a post and you don't like it, obviously Instagram is going to say, well, she's not really reacting to it. We're not going to give them more of this. Oh, but she really liked this post. She shared this post. She put this story in her post. We got to put more shit like this on her page. We got to put more shit like this on her page. But y'all keep reacting and responding to shit that you don't like, and then wonder why you keep getting more of that in your life. You see, this life game is very simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. All you need to do is behave as the version of you that you want to become, and everything else that signifies everything that you don't want to become, you completely ignore it as if that shit don't exist. As if that shit don't exist, because what will happen is that the algorithm of life will notice that you're not responding to it. It won't recommend that to you no more. It won't recommend that to you no more. When I see things that are happening to my life that I like, I respond to it. I give it energy. I get excited about it. I show it happiness. I show it love. I'm letting the algorithm of life know this is what I want more in my life. Are y'all with me today? How y'all doing today, man? Today's a very chill day for me. I don't really have all the energy to go hoopty hoorah, hoorah, hoorah. But I do have the spirit in me to talk about some shit today that I feel like needs to be talked about. So I want y'all to know that today's live is really just like, it's telling you what you need to hear. It's telling you what you need to hear. And one thing that I've noticed was that, like, my life wasn't looking like what I wanted to look like when I stopped popping my shit. Sometimes we be afraid to pop our shit because we're afraid of being hated on. But sometimes popping your shit is the only way to really do it. You have to pop your shit. You have to flex sometimes, because flexing is not about everybody else. Flexing is about me showing myself like, yeah, bitch, this is what I did. I came from this and now I'm this. If you don't know how to praise yourself, but you know how to down yourself, you're going to have more negative thoughts than positive. You have to be your biggest fan. You have to learn how to be your biggest fan. If you don't know how to be your biggest fan, you're not going to accept other people that want to be your biggest fan. Is that making sense? If you don't know how to glaze yourself, that means when other people glaze you, you're not going to feel comfortable with it. When other people start showing you love, when other people want to, send you admiration, you're not going to know how to accept it because you don't know how to admire yourself. Don't take 50 years to evolve from your lower self to heart, man. Let me tell you something. Living from your heart chakra is the best thing to do, because guess what? When you live from your heart chakra, you love everything about you. Some of y'all know everything that you hate about yourself, but you can't name me 5 things that you absolutely adore about yourself. And that's the thing. Like, you have to literally think that you're the best thing walking since fucking toothpaste. Like, I don't know what the old school quote is, but you got to think that you the best thing since whatever the fuck this shit is. You got to think that you the best thing ever to come to pass. And until you think that about yourself, you're constantly going to start limiting yourself, or you're going to constantly not see how big and powerful you are. You have to see how big and powerful you are before it comes into fruition, in order for it to come into fruition. And there's people out here in this life that are called people who are energy vampires, and they'll destiny swap with you all because you don't see how powerful you are. They'll take advantage of all of the energy that you have and all of the things that you're able to create before you become big, just because you don't know how big you're going to be. And I hope this making sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really got to be your own. You really got to be your own fan at the highest level. And then some people will try to say that you're conceited. Some people will try to say you're narcissistic. Some people will try to say you're full of yourself. You're selfish. And all you do when people start calling you names, just understand that those people are calling you those names based off of their perspective of life. Some of y'all are martyrs. Some of y'all sacrifice yourself for other people, and you don't recognize that that's not okay. Sacrificing yourself for other people, especially when those people would never sacrifice themselves for you, is not good. It's not good. A lot of y'all want to sacrifice yourself for other people because you want to feel validation from the fact that maybe you're a good person. A lot of y'all sacrifice yourself for other people because you feel like when you sacrifice yourself for other people, maybe it'll give you value. Maybe it'll give you worth. Maybe it'll make you feel better about yourself. That's not the truth. You got to learn how to sacrifice yourself for yourself. Because a lot of these people that you're trying to sacrifice yourself for would never sacrifice themselves for you. They would never in their life do that shit for you. But you trying to be this holier than thou Captain Save-A-Ho type of person. Stop trying to save people. Save yourself. Because the only way you could ever save somebody else is by you walking in your path, and people watch you walk in your path and say, you know what, that's what I'm going to do. I want to be like this person. I'm going to walk in my path. Just this person's so inspiring. You know, that's the only way to really get people up, is to inspire them, not to tell them what to do. How do I inspire people? By walking in your light and walking in your path so unapologetically that people look at you like, fuck, how can I be like you? You could tell somebody, yo, you need to wash your face, or you could walk around them with super glowing skin to the point that they ask you, yo, how do you do it? If y'all not following, make sure that y'all go ahead and follow me. You know, like, one thing about me, I feel like life for me is about being effortless now. I'm not here to sit here and sacrifice myself and break a sweat. When I know that aspects of me, like, I can get these done with my energy alone. I've been working with energy. And working with energy has made me the most effortless. And I'm gonna go back to that chapter. I'm gonna go back to that chapter. Chapter 14, effortless way. I want y'all to understand this. Like, I want y'all to understand this. One thing about it, I'm not about working hard and busting my ass and struggling, when nowadays, like, there's ways for you to get what you want using energy alone. And the thing about it is that this is a spiritual realm. This is a spiritual realm. The only reason why they tell you to work super hard is because they need people to be great employees. That's why. They need people to be great employees, so they tell you work hard. They tell you struggle. They tell you that's how you get what you need to. That's not the answer for real. That just makes you a better employee. That just makes you easily controllable. So we're going to pull up chapter 14, the effortless way. So let's pull this up. I'm going to read this to y'all. So, number one, I hope y'all listening. I'm giving y'all some game today. My intention today was for anybody who really needed to hear this message. This is what this is for. I don't care if this has a lot of views. I don't care if this has a little bit of views. This is going to be exactly for the person that this needs to be for. Okay. So first things first, the principle of least action governs everything in physics, from the path of a planet to the path of a pulse of light. Least action is the minimum of energy multiplied by the minimum of time. Therefore, in moving from your present state to the state desired, you must use the minimum of energy and take the shortest possible time. You may say, how the fuck do I do that? How do I use the minimum amount of energy in the minimum amount of time? And the way that you do that is by shifting mentally. You see, you can become your wealthiest version of yourself right now. Right now. The problem is that a lot of y'all believe everything that you see, and you feel like if you don't see it, then it's not real. When in reality, let me tell you something, everything you see is not real. Everything you see is simply electrical signals being interpreted by your brain. All of these are just freaking, for all we know, this whole life could be fucking AI. And you know, in order to generate AI, you have to tell AI what to generate. So this is why I'm telling y'all, you can't always trust what you see. Let's get back into it. Your journey from one state of consciousness to another is a psychological one. So to make the journey, you must employ the psychological equivalent of least action, and the psychological equivalent is mere assumption. You have to assume that you already that bitch. You have to assume that you're already that bitch. You have to assume that you're already that person, that you are already them. You have to assume that about you now, because everything you assume is what comes to pass. If you assume that you know you're going to be successful, you assume I'm successful. I know I'm going to be successful. I just know that about me. Life has no choice but to respect that, because life is coming from you. Life is being created from you. You are the one creating the life that you're experiencing. So if you're creating a life of yours that you say, I am a success, and you move in accordance to that version of you, life has no choice but to act in according to you. Just like if you think that you're a failure, life has to show you more evidence of failure. Okay? The day you fully realize the power of assumption, you discover that it works in complete conformity with this principle. Remember, this is based off of physics. Okay? So, it works by means of attention minus effort. Thus, with least action through an assumption, you hurry without haste and you reach your goals without effort. You ever notice that there are some people that just tend to get their way? Life is just so easy for them. It seems like they're just so lucky, right? Do you know that you can actually create a life like that for yourself by assuming that you're a person that life just comes easy to? Do you know that your perception of yourself is what's causing you to live the life that you're living? So if you think that life is always hard on you and life always is giving you a hard time, then that's what you're going to get. Because this is the law of attraction, and your thoughts is God. Your thoughts is the creator. That's why imagination has the word I am. Just like in all of those scriptures, they said that I am my Father. I am God. I am one with God. So your imagination, your mind is truly the most powerful thing you could ever have. Why do you think that every sport they say that is 90% mental? Why do you think that they say that when you're able to visualize yourself practicing, it actually makes you better, just like someone who's practicing physically? If you don't know that they are purposely trying to get you to not know how powerful your mind is so they can control your mind and therefore control your reality, because they know that if I plant certain things in your mind, I could force you to create a certain reality for yourself. If you ever watched the movie Inception, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. They know how to plant ideas in your mind. They know how to get you to accept things as if you're the one who thought about it originally. They know how to make you think that you're the one creating this reality, when in reality, they're planting ideas in your head for you to accept. Because guess what? If I tell you that you're a success, right? And then you believe that, and then you keep telling yourself, I'm a success, I'm a success, I'm a success, I'm a success. Eventually, you will become a success. You will become a success. And you may say, but how is that possible that somebody could just think themselves to success? Isn't action required? Yes. But what you're not understanding is that the action starts off with the mentality. Because if you think a certain type of way, you're going to act based off of how you think. So if you think you're a success, that means that you think that any idea that you try cannot fail. So you're going to be more aggressive towards things because you believe you're a success. Whereas if you think that you're not successful, you're naturally going to think that anything you try is not going to work. Therefore, you're going to hesitate more. You're going to procrastinate more. You're going to talk yourself out of things more. So your intellect, your mind, the way that you think is what is the beginning to how you act. Before anything happens, you have to think about it. You have to think about it. You get what I'm saying? Before anything ever happens, you have to think about it. Before you ever make a move, you have to think about it. So let's finish. So, because creation is finished, what you desire already exists. It is excluded from view because you can see only the contents of your own consciousness. So what that means is that if I show you a picture right now and it's like a black blob, and I show you a picture based off of what you're going through in life, that picture is going to come off of the way that you perceive things. This is why they do ink block test. And you may say, what is a ink block test? I'm about to show you ink block test. So look, this is an ink block test. These ink block tests are basically what they use to perceive how someone's mental is. Because based off of how someone thinks, they'll you'll perceive all of these images in a certain way. Some people may say, oh my God, these are two birds or two animals or two. And some people may say, well, this is, so it all depends. It's an ink block test. The ink block test, the ink block test shows how you think. It shows how you think. So a lot of y'all don't realize that the way that you view life is determining how the things happen in your life. So let me go back and explain things. So because creation is finished, what you desire already exists. It is excluded from view because you can only see the contents of your own consciousness. So if I'm in a more positive state and you're in a more negative state, when we look at that ink block test, we're going to see two different things, because I'm going to see things from a positive lens and you're going to see things from a negative lens. We could be looking at the same exact thing and see two different things based off of our perception. And if that doesn't show you that different perspectives can show you different things, then that, I don't know what will. So it is the function of an assumption to call back the excluded view and restore full vision. So when you assume that you're a success, what you do is you start to bring in all of the parts of your reality that are hidden, and you start to bring in the wealthy aspects of it, because your lack mentality was only seeing things as a cost. When you were in your lack mentality, every time you had to spend money, you thought it was a bad thing. But when you're a wealthy person, you love spending money. You love spending your money because you know that every time you spend your money, you're going to get it back tenfold. And you understand as a millionaire that every time that you lose money, or every time you invest money, or every time you spend money, it's going to help you make more money. But when you have a negative mentality, every time you spend money, you feel like it's the end of the world. But that's all off of mentality. You see, and when you don't have a mentality that's rooted in positivity, or that's rooted in opportunity, when negativity comes, you're never going to see the positivity in it, because you're going to think negativity is just bad. When in reality, if you know how to use things for your benefit and you're an alchemist, you're always going to see the positive in something. Do you understand that the wealthiest people in the world were the people that saw a problem and created a solution? They didn't see a problem and was like, damn, like, oh, we ain't got this. No, they said, oh my God, it's a problem. Here's my opportunity. But when you don't think like that, you don't notice your opportunity. Opportunity doesn't come in a positive way. Opportunity always comes in some type of negative. Opportunity, you see, Adele didn't make her first fire album until her heart got completely shattered and broken. But a lot of y'all are going through situations in life and you're thinking, why me? Why am I going through this? You get what I'm saying? You have to change your perspective about things, my love. Your perspective is causing you to miss out on opportunities. So it is not the world, but your assumptions that change. An assumption brings the invisible into sight. It is nothing more than less than seeing with the eye of God, i.e. imagination. So the heart is the primary organ of sense. Yeah, so be still, least action, and know that you are what you desire to be. You know, let me tell you something. There's a story with Neville Goddard where he talks about how he wants to manifest going to Bahamas. He's like, he doesn't have enough money, but he wants to go to the Bahamas. Listen to me now, because a lot of y'all are manifesting a new version of your life, but you don't know where to start. And I'm going to tell you. Neville Goddard wanted to manifest going to Bahamas, but he had no money. So he went to his mentor and he told his mentor, hey, I want to go to Bahamas, but I don't have no money. What should I do? The guy said that you're already in Bahamas. You see, a lot of y'all are desiring things, but how can you desire something if you already possess it? You cannot desire something and possess it at the same time. And what this means is that you cannot be a slave to two masters. You can only be a slave to one master. And what that means is that you cannot believe that you're very abundant, but at the same time complain about money. You cannot say that you want to be a millionaire, but at the same time say you're rich. Which one is it? Are you already a millionaire and already rich? Or are you still the version of you that is desiring it? Are you still the version of you that is in lack of having it? You see, all that requires you is to figure out what that version of you would be doing and start doing that thing. So, for example, if you know that the wealthy version of you meditates early in the morning, when you start to take on that habit, you easily align and snap into that timeline. If you ever watched the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once, then you know what I'm talking about. If you never watched the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once, I need y'all to watch it. First of all, another thing I want to say is that if you are in the live right now, I want everybody to go ahead and drop a fire emoji. I need to make sure that y'all still here with me, because I know y'all listening, but the comments are a little quiet. Go ahead, drop a fire emoji in here so I know that y'all watching. What's good, everybody? And run up the likes on this live. Listen, y'all, I do want to let y'all know that my magnetism class, the class is almost closed off. So if you guys have been looking to want to join my magnetism class, go ahead and DM me your birthday to see if you're eligible. The class is $99, okay? One thing I want to tell you too that I've learned about magnetism is that, you know, you really, I tried to go live yesterday, but they didn't let me talk about it. So I'm going to talk about it a little bit here today. You have to become more of a narcissist in order to be a winner. Now, I want y'all to understand, don't take this to the extreme when I say be a narcissist, but there's things that you could learn from selfish people. There are things that you could learn from narcissists when it comes to being your most sexiest, most high vibrational self. One thing that I noticed is that the people that deserve to be popping their shit are not popping their shit. And the people that have no fucking talent are just completely flexing. And the thing about it is that when you don't pop your shit, when you don't allow your ego to live, you see, a lot of y'all, you banish your ego. You made your ego seem like it's a negative thing. You made your ego seem like, oh, like, my ego is just terrible. Like, fuck egos. Ego death. Kill that bitch. Like, no. Y'all gotta stop doing that. Y'all gotta stop thinking that an aspect of yourself is evil or dark or negative. All aspects of you are great, especially when you know how to use them. Your ego can help you in situations where you need to learn how to be a star. Some of y'all don't know how to be a star, and it's because you've completely neglected your ego. And then you wonder why you don't have no confidence. Your ego is here to protect you. Your ego is here to serve you. A lot of y'all are out here let me eat you up real quick. A lot of y'all are out here trying to serve everybody else. You're people pleasing. And your ego is just like, I deserve to be served. And you don't know how to serve yourself. So your ego has to do things. Your ego has to do things in order to, let me take a step back. Your ego has to do things to try to serve itself because you don't know how to serve yourself. You don't know how to hype yourself up. You don't know how to tell yourself that you're great. You don't know how to boast about yourself. Every single time that you try to lift yourself up, you make yourself feel bad about it. Somebody said, how do ego and pride relate? Ego and pride is two different things, okay? And I'm not going to say that you shouldn't have your pride about certain things too. You just have to have a healthy balance of everything. That's like the people who fucking neglect their shadow. Like, are you crazy? You cannot neglect your shadow and then expect your soul to be able to live in darkness. How are you ever going to be light if you don't know how to embrace the dark? The darkness gives the light purpose. How are you ever going to be light if you don't know how to embrace your darkness when darkness gives light purpose? We wouldn't need a light if there was no darkness. You get what I'm saying? Yes, that's right. Facts. No, facts, man. Facts, man. And then another thing I want to tell y'all too is like, you know, you should know how to give and receive. I'm not telling you to just be fucking selfish and just only focus on yourself. What I'm trying to tell you is that you have to know the balance of giving and receiving, because some of y'all overgive and you don't receive enough. And some of y'all receive too much and you don't know when to give. Some of y'all, you can feel when your balance is off. You can feel when you're giving too much. You can feel it because you start to cry. You start to get upset. You start to feel like you're getting used. You feel it. Let me say something. I know when I'm giving too much, because the first thing I start to do is I start to feel, but what about me? I deserve to be on stage. I start to feel those things. But the thing about it is that if you were giving from a full cup, you would never ask, but what about me? But when you're giving from a cup that's not even halfway full, you're going to say, but what about me? But when you have more than enough food, you're never going to give food away and be like, damn, but I want to eat. You're never going to do that. You're never going to do that. Y'all run the likes up on this TikTok live. Let's get to 50K likes. You get what I'm saying? Another thing I want to tell y'all too is that, like, listen, let me tell you something. If you are struggling to love yourself, if you are struggling to show up as your unapologetic self, I recommend my magnetism class to you. And let me tell you why. If you don't know how to talk to people in confidence, if you don't know how to get your message across and tell people about themselves or tell people about you, or you don't know how to sell yourself, or you don't know how to express yourself with confidence, and every time you express yourself, you're overthinking, that means that your magnetism is off. It means that you're not present in the moment. And you may say, well, Ori, how do I get myself in more alignment with myself? How do I learn about being more magnetic? How do I learn? First things first, you have to go on a journey with yourself. You have to go on a journey with yourself. Like, you have to basically start courting yourself. Write that down. Everybody need to write that down. In order to become sexy, in order to become more magnetic, you have to court yourself. You have to take yourself on a date. For example, I've been going to the gym, right? When I go to the gym, every time I go to the gym, I imagine myself sculpting and designing myself. You see, this is the part of your life where you now need to sculpt and design every aspect of you. You want to lose your stomach? Then you need to study about ab workouts and sculpt that aspect of you. And then here's the thing too, here's the key. When you start working out, what you want to do is you want to visualize that stomach of yours shaping and shifting to the abs. You have to get the vision in your mind first. Think about it. If you're an architecture, right? You're an architect. If you're an architect, right? And you're designing a new building, you have to imagine what the building is like first. And then you have to draw it on a piece of paper, and then you start to act on it. That's what you have to do about yourself. You have to sculpt yourself. You have to imagine yourself, visualize yourself, write down the plans, write down the prototypes, and then start getting the pieces and getting the materials that you need. The first thing that I tell everybody who's trying to get into more magnetism is work on your skincare, because it's going to be very hard for you to maintain eye contact when you know you have pimples in certain places. Work on your skincare. When you know that you have skin that's not all the way clear, it's very hard for you to want to hold eye contact with people, because you're going to feel like that person is looking at your pimples. And you may say, hey, Ori, well, how do I do that? Look up Curology. Look up Curology. That's not an ad. That's just me telling you real talk what has helped me with my skin. Invest in an esthetician. Invest in the things that's going to make you more beautiful, because the better that you feel, the better you feel, the more, the better you look, the better you feel, the better you feel, the better you look. It all plays into each other. Also, I do want to go into this too. The end of longing should be being. Translate your dream into being. Perpetual construction of future states without the consciousness of already being them. That is, picturing your desire without actually assuming the feeling of wish fulfilled is the fallacy and mirage of mankind. When you visualize this new version of yourself, this new sexier version of yourself, you have to feel the let me slow down, because I really want to make sure that you're hearing me. When you are visualizing yourself as this next version, you have to think from that version. And what that means is that you have to carry yourself with the confidence of that version of yourself. You have to carry yourself with the level of sexiness and unapologeticness as that version of yourself in order to get in alignment with that version of yourself. In order for you to have the things that the $1 million version of you have to become that version of you. And then once you become that version of you, you're naturally going to do the things that that version of you does, which naturally leads you to have the things that that version of you have. Be, do, have. Chat, I fell asleep listening to you for a minute. Is my voice that calming Because you guys, I see a lot of people that tell me I could listen to you talk forever. Is that true? Do y'all feel like that for real? Do y'all really feel like that for real, that y'all could listen to me talk forever? Somebody said, bro, you can't fall asleep. No, facts, because I'm giving game. But my thing is too, like, let me tell you something. You take my advice, especially about your birthday and especially about magnetism, and you can transform your whole life. I was once very insecure. I didn't like talking to people. But now what I've started to do is I've started to start conversations with people. Hey, do you, like, for example, if I'm in a store and I'm like buying something, right? I'll be looking at it. And if someone's near me, I'll be like, you ever tried this? Once you start doing, this is just a little hack for you. Once you start doing little things like that, it's going to be better for you. Like, if you're an artist, if you are a business person, if you are a person that's like, you need people in order to be successful, you have to learn how to talk to people. Even the people that are not on your level of thinking, you have to be able to make your message understood by those people. That's the difference between a good speaker and a great speaker, a good listener and a great listener. A person who is able to make their message universal, no matter to what level of thinking somebody is at. Somebody said, Ori, what's up? Let's connect though. Sound like you trying to book a one-on-one? So listen, man, let me tell you something. For everybody in here, I wanna read my little class to y'all too real quick, so y'all know what y'all get when y'all join my little magnetism class. Hold on. I want to let y'all know. Because I think more than ever, the most important thing for your success is loving yourself. If you don't love yourself, if you don't think that you're the hottest thing walking, you're not going to attract certain opportunities, because certain opportunities are going to require you to think that you're the best in order to have it. And you're never going to become the best if you don't already think you're so. Is this making sense? Somebody said $99 is nothing compared to the value. I'm not even talking about the price, because the price is not a question. Like, I've realized that that's something that I used to do. I used to try to cater to the people who were cheap and who didn't value knowledge. And the thing about it is that I realized that I was just wasting my time. And I started dealing with people who would give me a harder time but couldn't even pay full price. But what I started to realize was that when you know who you are and you carry yourself at the frequency that you carry yourself at, you're going to attract people who will value you because they're on the same level as you. They're on the same frequency as you. They can understand what you're doing. But when you're spending your time wasting it, trying to talk to people and trying to persuade people to see your value, you're only going to waste good time that you could be giving the people who already see you. If you take $1 million watch to the pawn shop and they don't recognize the watch, they're going to offer you $100. But if you go to a fucking fancy watch place and you show them that watch, they're going to kiss your ass and give you whatever price that you want. So it's not always about your value as a person. Sometimes it's about where you're taking your product at. And I realized, like, the people that really value business, the people that value loving themselves, the people that value and know what magnetism can really do, especially if you're in the entertainment industry, especially if you're a model, especially if you are a business owner. Do you know how important it is in business to know the right people? And if you don't know how to be likable, if you don't understand human nature, if you don't understand people, you're gonna fail. There's some people who are not as successful as you. There are some people who are not as good as you, but are more successful than you because they knew how to play the game of getting people to do what they want to do. You see, a lot of y'all think that getting people to do what you want to do is telling them what you want them to do, when that's not how people work. If somebody tells you, yo, wash the dishes for me, you're not going to want to do them. But if somebody say, yo, wash the dishes for me so I can cook some food for you, you're more likely to do it. You get what I'm saying? There's a difference. That person told you to wash the dishes regardless because they was going to cook. But if they would have never told you, hey, can you wash the dishes for me so I can make some dinner for you? That would have never been appetizing to you to wash the dishes. But there had to be something in it for you. There had to be something for you to get out of it. It had to be appetizing to you or worthy of you doing it for someone to tell you to do it. So just so everybody can know what my class is about, this class, and I'm just gonna talk about this a little bit and keep it pushing. Like I said, I set an intention from the beginning to attract the people who need to see this. If this is not for you, just keep it pushing and we're going to keep talking. All right. So unlocking your magnetic charm, mastering the art of personal influence. This is a course on becoming more magnetic, aims to help individuals enhance their personal presence and charisma, allowing them to attract and engage others more effectively. Let me tell you something. The fact that I'm on this live with you right now, talking for almost an hour, and some of y'all have been here the whole hour, is a sign of magnetism. It's a sign of being able to engage you. It's the ability to be able to have people listening to me, because so listen to me. A lot of y'all have a beautiful message that you need to get out into the world. But if you don't know how to articulate yourself, if you don't know how to speak in a way that's influential to people, you see, I don't talk to y'all how I want to talk to y'all. I talk to y'all in a way that's easily understandable for y'all. I talk to y'all in a way that makes it captivating for y'all. If I don't talk in a way that's captivating, you're not listening. If I don't talk in a way that's like interesting to you, you're not hearing me for real. So that's another thing too. A lot of y'all don't know how to communicate with people. Your throat chakra is blocked. You're shy. Okay. So participants will learn various techniques and strategies to develop a captivating aura and cultivate magnetic qualities that naturally draw people towards them. The course typically covers topics such as body language. For example, I always tell people, you're over here slouching. And that already shows me that you're not sexy. You're not, there's nothing sexy about slouching. There's nothing, hold on. There's nothing sexy about this. There's something confident about this. There's something powerful about this. There's something strong about this. There's something unwavering about this. Like coming like this, like it shows that you're not, I don't know how to explain it. So the course typically covers topics such as body language, vocal tonality, and active listening skills, which contribute to creating a magnetic presence. Students will also explore the art of storytelling, humor, and conversation techniques to create deeper connections and leave lasting impressions. So, that's where I'm going to get into it with this. I'm a shy person. Yeah, baby, let me tell you something. Shy not going to get you to the bag. Shy is not going to get your goals met. Especially if you're a music artist and you're shy. It's not going to work. You need to be able to be ostentatious. You need to be able to brag about yourself. Put yourself out there. I'm not telling you to be a cunt, but I'm telling you to know how to promote yourself, how to sell yourself as a star. You got to know how to sell yourself as a star. So I do want to let you know that not everybody is allowed in the class. The only way you can join the class is if your birthday is eligible. So if you want to learn if your birthday is eligible and you're trying to join the class, all you need to do is DM me your birthday. DM me your birthday and I will let you know if you're eligible to learn. The class is $99 and I choose people based off of their birthday. So here's one class I got, embrace your dark side. You have to play the game. Come on. This is deep. This is deep. And I do want to let y'all know that some of the classes are just text too. That is what I want to tell y'all. Some of the classes are just text. I'm going to show y'all real quick before we. How to dominate conversations. See, boom, 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 boom. I don't want to expose too much. Somebody said who's not eligible. See, if I told you who's not, okay. I'm not going to say that you're 100% not eligible because you have this number in your birthday, but I'm not going to lie. If you have 7 in your number in your birthday, or if you have 6 in your birthday, it may be a little bit harder for you to be magnetic. And the reason why is because 6 tends to be very shy. So it's like no matter what you do, they're just going to be to themselves. 7s don't like to talk to people. They're introverts. So, but understand that there may be other aspects of your birthday. Maybe you're born on the 7th day, but your birthday adds up to 11. Then that's different. You get what I'm saying? So what I want you to do is, if you do not DM me if you're not ready to purchase the class, do not waste my time. I don't want my time wasted. Do not DM me if you're not ready to purchase the class, if you're eligible. So only DM me if you have your $99 in hand and you're like, yes, I want to join. All right. 7 months, 17th day. You see, but you're born on the 8th day. You're in the 7th month, but you're born on the 8th day. So your energy is very entrepreneurship. Somebody said, I'm a 6 and I ain't shy at all. Then that means that there's other energies within your birthday. I want to link up with you. 13th day. You're very hardworking. Is that a monthly payment? No, it's a one-time payment. August 5th, you're eligible to join my class. 3/12, you're eligible to join my class. 3/11, you're eligible to join my class. March 25th, you're gonna have to send me your whole birthday in my DM. Listen, y'all, I recommend that y'all send me a DM. I recommend that y'all send me a DM. Send me a DM with your birthday if you're looking to join my class, and I will let you know if you're eligible. I will let you know if you're eligible. I'm a 9-day. You be overthinking, so sometimes your magnetism be fucking up sometimes because you be overthinking. Like I said, y'all, listen, y'all, I'm about to, let me go ahead. I'm gonna check my DMs right now, okay? Like I said, don't DM me if you're not trying to join the class for real. Like, if you're just trying to figure out about your birthday, don't DM me. It's not gonna work. Like, I'm just gonna be like, are you ready to join? You're not gonna get no information out of me. Yeah, man. Let me check TikTok. What y'all saying on TikTok? How much is it to join? The class is $99. The class is $99. One of the things that I really talk about a lot on there is physical touch. I feel like a lot of y'all be afraid to initiate physical touch with people. Obviously, you got to do it the right way, but don't be afraid to initiate physical touch with some people. A lot of times when you like just, hey, how are you? And you hit them on the hand or you hit them on the shoulder. Hey, how are you? Some people are more likely to be connected with you because of that. You get what I'm saying? Also, another thing I want to say before I get off of live, make sure you guys go ahead and check out the crystal shop. Make sure you guys go ahead and check out the crystal shop to go ahead and get you necklaces like the one that I have on now. Make sure you guys go ahead and check out the crystal shop and go get you some necklaces. These are all the new necklaces that have dropped recently. So make sure you guys go ahead and get you some necklaces. And get you crystal. All right. I love you guys. And later I'll probably be on. I don't know if I'll be on tomorrow, but I'll definitely be on. What's tomorrow? Tomorrow's Friday. I'll definitely be on Saturday and Sunday. I'll definitely be on Saturday and Sunday, y'all. All right. So make sure you guys. What necklace do you recommend for $329? I recommend this one. This one right here. This one right here. I recommend this necklace. But like I said, DM me if you want to join my magnetism class, but you have to DM me your birthday in order to see if you're eligible. All right. I love you guys, and later.